Once upon a time in a green valley, there lived three billy goats, Gruff, Little, Middle, and Big. Their days were spent climbing rocks, chasing butterflies, and leaping over streams. But one day they skipped over to their favorite pasture for a juicy snack. But when they got there, they saw something awful. All the grass was gone. It was eaten clean. Oh, no! Their tummies rumbled with hunger. What would they do now? In the distance was a meadow full of sweet, juicy grass, but the only way there was over a creaky old bridge, and they all knew the dangers of that bridge. It was guarded by a grumpy troll who ate anyone who crossed. But those goats were hungry, and so they had to try, so off they went. First over the bridge skipped little Billy Goat Gruff. He was only 5 years old and very curious about the world. Trip, trap, as he stepped carefully on the shaking bridge, suddenly roar. Out popped Trevor the terrifying troll. Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge? He boomed. Little Billy Goat Gruff trembled with fear. His heart pounded like a drum. Then he thought quickly. It's just me, squeaked the little goat. Wait for my brother, he's much tastier. The troll smirked and let him go. Then came Middle Billy Goat Gruff. He was 8 years old and pretty scared right now. Trip, trap, the troll popped out again, hungrier than ever. Don't eat me, said the goat. Wait for my big brother. He's huge. The greedy troll licked his lips and let him pass. Now it was up to Big Billy Goat Gruff, and when he took a step onto the bridge, the troll roared. Whoosh! He was going to grab him, but wait! This goat looked different. His fur was wind-blown, his eyes bright, his chest puffed out. This goat wasn't scared. He was strong and bold. Whoosh! Big Billy Goat charged and sent the troll flying into the stream with a giant splash never to be seen again. From then on, the three brothers lived happily in the sweet, green meadow sharing grass, sunshine, and goat giggles. And best of all, no one was ever afraid to cross the bridge again thanks to one brave, bold Billy Goat Gruff. Once upon a time, in a lush green valley nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a family of friendly forest animals. They were known throughout the land for their kindness and their love for each other. There was a cozy cottage surrounded by a vegetable garden filled with ripe tomatoes, juicy watermelons, and crunchy carrots. The warm kitchen of this cottage was always filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread, sweet berry pies, and nourishing broths. Everyone loved the homey food made by Mama Forest Animal. One day, a strange hush fell over the usually bustling forest. The birds stopped chirping, the squirrels ceased chattering, and even the gurgling stream seemed to fall silent. A shiver ran down Mama Forest Animal's spine. She had a premonition that something unsettling was amiss. As she peered out the window, her eyes fell upon a menacing figure standing at the edge of the forest. It was a massive gray wolf with sharp, piercing eyes that seemed to glint with malice. He was tall enough to peer inside their cottage, and his heavy paws left deep imprints in the soft earth. Mama Forest Animal's heart pounded in her chest. She knew this was no ordinary wolf. There was an evil aura about him. She rushed to wake her husband, Papa Forest Animal. Wake up, my love, she whispered urgently. There's a menacing wolf at our doorstep. Papa Forest Animal, a strong, sturdy deer, was instantly alert. Without a moment's hesitation, he sprang into action. He nudged awake their 3 children, Little Joey, Middle Robert, and Big Frankie. Children, a perilous wolf is here, he said gravely, and we must flee into the whispering woods. Only there will we find sanctuary. Without wasting a second, the family dashed out of the house and into the woods. Behind them, the wolf howled furiously, his voice echoing ominously through the trees. They ran until their lungs burned and their legs ached, but the wolf was relentless. His heavy paws pounded the ground, sending out tremors that shook the very roots of the trees. Just when they thought they had outrun him, they heard his enraged snarls close behind them. Suddenly, little Joey stopped in his tracks. His eyes widened in horror as he realized they had entered a dead end. The path ahead was blocked by a towering rock face that offered no way out. The Wolf was upon them, his eyes gleaming with triumph. It seemed as if their escape was futile. But then little Joey, the youngest of the forest animal children, noticed a small opening at the top of the rock face. It was too narrow for the Wolf to squeeze through, but just big enough for them to fit. With renewed hope, they scrambled up the rocks. As they climbed, the Wolf clawed at the rock face, his sharp nails leaving deep gashes in the stone. He snarled and bit, frustrated that he couldn't reach them. Finally, they reached the top, panting heavily, but safe for now. When they turned to look back, they saw the Wolf pacing below, his angry growls echoing around them. They had bought themselves some time, but where could they go now? At that moment, Middle Robert, the level-headed middle child, remembered an old tree hollow they had used as a hideout when they were younger. It was hidden high up in the branches of an ancient oak tree, camouflaged by its thick foliage. With a newfound sense of urgency, they raced towards the oak tree. The Wolf, sensing their destination, gave chase, his heavy footsteps shaking the ground beneath their feet. They scrambled up the tree, their small hands and feet gripping the rough bark. The Wolf, too large to climb, paced restlessly below, his sharp eyes scanning the tree for a way up. They reached the hollow, pulling themselves in just as the Wolf's angry growls echoed around the tree. Safe inside the hollow, the family huddled together, their hearts still pounding from the harrowing escape. But they knew the danger was not over. The Wolf was cunning and patient, and they couldn't stay hidden forever. As the hours passed, the sounds of the forest slowly returned. Birds tweeted, squirrels chattered, and the stream gurgled. It seemed as if nature itself was holding its breath, waiting for the drama to unfold. Just when their hope began to dwindle, a wise old owl hooted softly outside the tree hollow. Mama Forest Animal, recognizing the call, whispered to her husband, "Quick, get the children." "It's our chance." They slipped out of the hollow one by one, staying low to the ground. The owl swooped down from the tree, landing gracefully on a branch above them. "Follow me," she hooted softly. "I'll lead you to safety." The forest animals followed the owl into the heart of the whispering woods. The deeper they went, the thicker the trees grew, forming a protective canopy overhead. The sounds of the forest grew louder, a comforting melody compared to the eerie silence they had endured before. After what felt like hours, but was likely only minutes, the owl led them to a clearing. In the center stood a majestic deer, his antlers reaching towards the sky like gnarled fingers. He was the leader of the Whisperwood, a powerful and benevolent stag known for his wisdom and strength. "Great stag of the Whisperwood," Papa Forest Animal called out, "we seek your protection from the evil Grey Wolf who seeks to harm us." The stag nodded his head gravely, his eyes filled with understanding. "Fear not," he rumbled, his voice echoing with authority. "You are safe within the Whisperwood." The Grey Wolf, enraged and desperate, burst through the trees, his eyes blazing with fury. He snarled and snapped, his gaze fixed on the fleeing forest animals. But the moment he stepped into the clearing, the stag of the Whisperwood lowered his head, his antlers glowing with an ethereal light. "Leave this family in peace," the stag commanded, his voice booming like thunder. "This is the Whisperwood, a sanctuary of peace and harmony." The Wolf, sensing the stag's power, hesitated. He snarled and paced, torn between his desire to capture the forest animals and his fear of the stag's wrath. Seeing their chance, Mama Forest Animal and her children dashed to the safety of a thicket. They watched as the stag confronted the Wolf. His mere presence was enough to keep the Wolf at bay, forcing him to retreat into the shadows of the forest. And so the forest animals remained safe in the Whisperwood, protected by the ancient stag and the wise old owl. Life in the forest continued, filled with the sounds of birdsong and rustling leaves, a testament to nature's resilience and the enduring power of courage and unity.